Hey guys, Ron here, speaking to you today from beautiful downtown Brentwood. As a matter of fact, I'm very close to the OJ house, where OJ lived, where the whole murders went down. Anyway, let's take a look here. I'm going to be showing you today the home of Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo was a real legend in her time, born in Sweden in 1905. Her first film was a Swedish film, and she was scouted or seen by Louis B. Mayer, who brought her to Hollywood and said, this woman should be in pictures. Of course, silent films at that point. But then she made a successful transition to talkies, and I'm going to be talking about that, the talkies, in a moment. So let's see what we see. Okay, now I wish we could see more than this, but unfortunately, we can only see the fence. Well, you know, and I always say that, and then I find more than I think I'm going to see. See if we get across the street. And the guy who lives next door just pulled his black Escalade up to his driveway and was unloading diapers. So you see, you never know who's living near you. Anyway, that doesn't really make sense, but it kind of makes sense to me. Oh, I wish we could see more than this. I'll get as close as I can get. Here comes the mail delivery. So he or she will be in my way in a moment. We just can't see much, can we? I had a friend do some research and check out the current owner, and it's no one that we would know. So I think it's a business person and not a... Let's see how close I can get. I just can't. Let's see if I get up here. I'm trying, guys. I am trying. Yeah, we can see a little bit of the house. Greta Garbo was born Greta Gustafsson. Boy, say that 3 times fast, huh? In Stockholm. I told you about her first film and how Louis B. Mayer brought her to Hollywood. So she did a couple of films for MGM, put under contract. Of course, her third film was 1927, Flesh and the Devil, and that made her an international star. That's all it took. In 1928, just a year later, A Woman of Affairs was another huge success for her, and it was MGM's highest grossing movie. She was the highest grossing box office star for MGM at that time. 1930, she did her first sound film, and it was touted by the media and by the publicity department as Greta Talks. Hey, you know what? Let's go around the corner. We can see if we can see anything here. Is that the same home, or is that the home next door? Let's go this way. I think it's next to the diaper guy, the home next door. I'm sorry, folks, again in advance. I wish I could show you more than this, but I'll show you some of the neighborhood too. Now, by the late 30s already, Garbo's career was already fading, and she was only, excuse me, whoa, what are those? I don't know. And she was only in her 30s, obviously. In fact, by 1938, she was already labeled box office poison. That must have, and it did not do well for her fragile ego. But in 1939, she had a comeback with the comedy Ninotchka, and she got a 3rd Oscar nomination. But in 1941, she did a film called Two-Faced Woman, and that failed box office-wise. So she decided to hang it up at age 35. And already retired, she had done 28 films. See, all we can really see is, well, they definitely like their privacy. Definitely like their privacy. Well, gosh, I wish we could see more. I'll go back the other direction. Now, diaper guy, you can see his huge house there. All right. So I'll come back to you here, and I am using some notes because there's so much good stuff about Greta Garbo. So I told you how she retired, and she had done 28 films already, but she was only 35 years old. After retiring, and I think this was kind of what made her most famous, was she really shunned publicity. She never did any, film roles again. She never showed any publicity, didn't write a book. Even during her career, she shunned the media, which really, much to their consternation, they hated how they couldn't get her to do interviews or anything. And she... The rumor is, and I knew somebody, and she used to do an imitation saying Garbo, I want to be alone. Well, that's not far from the truth. Greta Garbo was never completely alone. She did have good friends, and she did travel and things of that nature. but primarily she was a loner. She never married, she never had children. She did have some boyfriends, including John Gilbert in the 30s, I guess. Boy, everybody was with John Gilbert, silent film star, who didn't really transition to talkies well. But there's some good evidence that presumably she was lesbian, or excuse me, presumably bisexual with a leaning towards being a lesbian. We'll never know for sure, but that's what the word is out there. But she did say, she confessed to a friend in 1971. She said, I suppose I'm just a severely depressed person. In fact, she talked about mood swings. She said, I'm very happy one minute, and the next it's like the world's done. So she might have been bipolar. Who knows? And they certainly didn't know about that in the 30s. I'm going to reference some notes here. She became a major art collector, and she had millions of dollars. Wait till you hear how many dollars of art by the time she died. By the way, she left her entire estate to her niece. 63, let me just check that out. $63 million. Yeah, $63 million in today's money or this was when she died in 1990, to her niece. So not bad. But she avoided public functions. She didn't even go to the Oscars. She avoided Hollywood parties. She said she'd rather be with her friends or alone. She said she was comfortable being alone. So that's where the reputation of the loner comes into play. Resisted crowds and too many people. She even said, she didn't like crowds. She didn't like too many people around, and she was basically kind of a loner. I'm sorry, there's weird noises happening behind me. So, you know, moody, temperamental actress. She had some happiness, she had some unhappiness, she had some great fame, and then she, again, didn't necessarily become a recluse, but she certainly shunned publicity, and, you know, just didn't want to appear in public, really, after gosh, I guess 1941 to the mid 80s. She had breast cancer that metastasized, and eventually she died, like I said, at age 90 of, well, finally it was pneumonia and renal failure and some abdominal issues. So she was unfortunately quite ill when she died. We don't know what her lifestyle was, if she took care of herself or not, but 90's not bad, is it? Well, I could take one more shot at the house, literally take a shot at the house, a film shot, or a camera shot, not a shot. But we're just going to see the fence, so I think I'll let it go there, folks. All right. Well, what the hell? I'll take a look. All right, so again, folks, if you know me, you know my name is Ron. If you don't know me, I love doing this for you. Please, if you like the channel, you like the content, please give it likes. I would really appreciate it. That's what moves the channel along. And please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because that's what moves... No, I already said that. Sorry, I'm going about 5 hours sleep here. That's what moves everything along. And if you do subscribe, hit the little bell icon next to the subscription button, and then you'll be notified as to when I post. A lot of traffic right here, a lot of cars parked here. Look at those hedges, beautiful, huh? I don't know whether it's just for construction or what's going on. See, this is the middle of a Monday afternoon. These people are so rich they don't have to work. Look at this hedge. That's why they're all home getting takeout food delivered to them. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it there. Oh, here's somebody coming out of the house, but I won't film it. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it there, and thank you, and we'll see you at the next location. Bye bye.